How often do you sit in silence? This is something that I feel pretty strongly about, and I think that it's something that for most people is really hard. So if you have a practice of maybe meditation or maybe yin yoga or some other kind of very slow and still, I guess, practice, how does that feel for you? And is that something that you're able to do every day? And the reason why it's so important is because it's helping you train your whole system to just stop, listen, and feel. So what ends up happening, like we all know, we are bombarded with messages all day, every day. And everything wants our attention. And really, like, whether you know this or not, we're pretty much being manipulated to get basically addicted to certain things. Like, that's why the TV is a certain way. It's just kind of like sensory overload all of the time. So then when we do sit and we try to like maybe sit down in meditation or prayer or reflection of some sort, it doesn't feel right because our system is so used to just like going. So when we physically stop, it's like our system wants to keep going. Our brain, our body, it's still kind of in that fight or flight type, like need to be doing and striving. Also, like our society tends to really use the label of busy as something that makes us important, and that's not a real thing. So it's almost like, how many times you talk to somebody and you're like, how's everything going? I was just so busy, and it's almost like, well, if you wouldn't say you were so busy, then does that mean that you're not as significant? And so it has absolutely nothing to do with that, but we've just prided ourselves on that busyness. So then if you're not doing something, it's almost like you question, like, I don't know, like you think you should be doing something. You question your self-worth. Or, like as a busy mother who's running all the time, I feel like that sometimes if I sit down on the couch, it's easy for me to feel guilty and think there's something else I should be doing. And another reason why it's hard to sit in silence is because sometimes in that silence, you have to face things that you've been trying to run from. Sometimes we keep ourselves so busy as an attempt to distract ourselves from, I don't know, maybe some like deep truths, maybe a trauma, maybe just something that you're trying to not acknowledge, because not acknowledging means you don't have to really do anything about it. And again, our system likes to stay in our comfort zone. But sometimes in those quiet moments, maybe it's a tickle of like, you need to go back to school, or you should, I don't know, like this isn't the right relationship for you, or you need to be kind to yourself, or whatever it might be. I don't know. But there's that whisper, and a lot of times that makes us nervous. But that's why it's so important, because really we want to come to that meditation pillow or wherever you do this, and train our body, train our mind to be okay in the stillness and to understand like you don't have to run from it. And then I personally absolutely love doing like the vagal toning breath work before I do meditation, because it's the best way for me to get out of my monkey mind and into a different brainwave state so that I can really get into a good meditative mind. And then that's where it's like, I don't know, like some days it's like I just become this expansive, like I just don't even feel my body and it feels so great. Sometimes it's like these beautiful insights might come in, but really it's just like connecting with that inner truth, whatever I want to call it. And it's building that resilience too, because it's reminding me of who I truly am, so that when I go out into the day and it gets hectic and crazy, and sometimes it's so easy to get totally caught up in all of that. But I had that practice at the beginning of the day as my reminder. And so then I'm able to go out and then have little mini reminders, maybe like taking deep breaths and just really staying truly connected to who I am, so that I don't get, caught up in the drama of life. So, and also like to understand like emotions can't kill us, because if we can set with emotion, then you really become like victorious over that. And that's huge. And that's a whole other thing we could talk about. But so anyway, I challenge you all to make that a practice. So do the breath work. In my opinion, I think that that's the best way to get yourself to sit in silence. Do the breath work and then just time yourself, or just sit. Maybe you just start with a minute or two, and then maybe you just add some time and just see how you can just sit and be completely at home with yourself.